Hello there, and welcome into a very special edition of the JayMac podcast. We're going to call these JayMac Snacks. Now, these are not live podcasts. These are quick hits, quick snacks, bite-sized content, if you will, where I answer some of the questions that you might have about the news of the day. I'd like to keep these at around 15 minutes or so you can dive in, you can find out the facts, have a little snack, and then move on. And today's snack is, why did William Barr appoint a special counsel? What is this about? I'm sure you've seen the screaming banner headlines. So what is going on? I want to break this down for you in the cleanest, easiest, simple terms that I can. And so let's get right to it.
Bill Barr has appointed John Durham as special counsel investigating the 2016 campaign investigators. Tell me more.
Brooke, it looks like 2016 is never going to be over. You have Bill Barr now saying that John Durham, who he appointed earlier this year to take a look at the origins of the Trump-Russia investigation that dates back to 2016, he had appointed him to take a look at that, a second look at the sort of investigation of the investigators. Now he has made him a special counsel, which means that once Joe Biden takes office, and presumably he would replace the U.S. attorneys around the country. That is the practice generally. These are political appointees. John Durham, of course, would be one of those people that might have to leave office once Joe Biden takes the helm at the White House. It means that John Durham can remain as special counsel, continuing this investigation, according to the Justice Department and these papers that they just released to the public today.
Okay, so what is this all about? Well, William Barr told the Associated Press on Tuesday, as you just heard, that he had appointed U.S. Attorney John Durham as special counsel. He actually did this back in October, but he didn't tell anybody about it. And that he will be under the same guidelines or regulations as special counsel Robert Mueller in the original Russia probe. Now, he said that the Durham investigation has been narrowing to focus more on the conduct of FBI agents who worked on the Russia investigation. That investigation, we now know, was codenamed Crossfire Hurricane. It's quite the name. Under the regulations, this special counsel can only be fired by the Attorney General and for specific reasons such as misconduct, dereliction of duty, or conflict of interest. Again, according to the Attorney General. Now, what are they investigating? They're investigating the investigation. What was it that led to the special counsel investigation? We've heard about the dossier. We've heard about wiretaps. The president continues to say that his campaign was spied upon, that they wiretapped his campaign. That's an allegation that we now know is false. They did get a wiretap. It was for Carter Page, and it was for Carter Page 2 months after Carter Page had left the Trump campaign, and it was because of Carter Page's trips back and forth to Russia, not because of his involvement with the Trump campaign. Nevertheless, the president has been wanting an investigation. You know, he's been calling this a witch hunt. You know that he says he was completely exonerated. And so, who knows? Durham's investigation has already resulted in one prosecution so far, a guilty plea by a former FBI lawyer who admitted altering an email. So who knows what's going to happen here? Will President-elect Biden allow this investigation to continue? He gets to choose his own attorney general, and so that attorney general could end this investigation. I don't think there's a lot to be seen here, so I don't know why Joe Biden wouldn't just allow this to come to its end or its conclusion. I do want to remind you that so much of the Russia investigation, contrary to what the president tells you, was started and run by Republicans. Bob Mueller was appointed by a Republican. The Senate Intelligence Committee had their own hearings into the Russia investigation. And part of that investigation was whether or not there was obstruction of justice. Remember, that's when the special counsel was appointed when President Trump fired the FBI director. And suddenly it was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And is this an obstruction of justice? And just a reminder for you that the Mueller investigation, contrary to what the president says, did not exonerate President Trump of obstruction of justice. In fact, as far as I can tell, it was just the opposite.
The president has repeatedly claimed that your report found there was no obstruction and that it completely and totally exonerated him. But that is not what your report said, is it?
Correct. It is not what the report said.
You wrote, quote, "If we had confidence after a thorough investigation of the facts that the president clearly did not commit obstruction of justice, we would so state. Based on the facts and the applicable legal standards, however, we are unable to reach that judgment," close quote. Now, does that say...
So he went on to explain that if President Trump left office, he could be indicted after the fact for obstruction of justice, a topic that we'll pick up in a subsequent JayMac Snack as we talk about whether or not the president can pardon himself and his family. In the meantime, who knows what this special counsel will find? I, for one, would like a clean slate. I would like Joe Biden to, and he's already kind of alluded to this, I would like him to commit to not forwarding or going through any investigations of the previous administration. I would like the previous administration to give up its investigation and just clean slate so that we can get over this idea that one administration is going to investigate the next administration. I think we should just all move on. How about you? And that is a quick JayMac Snack. Just a reminder, please take a minute and scan the barcode that you see on the screen or go to the description of this podcast and become a patron so that I can bring you more snackable content. You can become a monthly patron. That's a monthly donation of $1 or more, or a one-time donation. I appreciate the support of all of you who have so far become patrons. Thank you so much, and more JayMac Snacks to come.